Two times tapping in to holler at y'all on this good Saturday. I say it's good Saturday because that's how it started. You know, I go to work. I'm expecting, a couple loads. Maybe 8.5, maybe 9 hours. Because on a Saturday it ain't really no traffic, so we just kind of mobbing through, right? And get my dispatch. I'm like, okay, cool. This might hold me at least 8, maybe 9 hours. All right, bet. Get going. Do my first load. I got to go over to the city, San Francisco, right? Cool. It's early, no traffic. I ain't got to worry about all the weirdos and the crazy drivers. Boom, drop that. Do it moving. And I get back to the branch, getting ready to, hook up my second load. Well, not even getting ready, I did. I dropped my empty trailer that I had to bring back from where I went. Hooked up to my load that I'm taking my next load out. And on the EOD, I get a message. And they say, hey, your second load got canceled. Just swing by the office. All right, no problem. This happens sometimes. A location may cancel or they ask to hold it, while they sort through their inventory or whatever the case may be, right? For whatever reason. Cool, no problem. I dropped that one back, disconnect from it, but I didn't even drop it. I just left it where it was at, put the landing gear back down, all that good stuff. And I get over to the office, what's going on? They're like, oh yeah, your second load got canceled. Okay, cool. What y'all got for me? Because usually they might have something else for you. They send you somewhere else. They like, man, hold up, give us a second. So they go on it, phones ringing, right? They making calls, answering calls on the computer. And while they doing this, I'm peeping. I'm like, there's more cancellations coming in. I'm like, man, is this the trend today? They like, yeah, man, we done had about 30 loads canceled. I'm like, man. I'm like, all right, well, I gotta take a break anyway, so let me go take a break. I'll come back and holler at y'all. Right? So we got like a little workout room or whatever. So I go take my break up in there, get my heart rate up, maybe a little sweat, stretch a little bit, try to use my time wisely. So while I'm in there, Soup come in, he like, man, we can't find you nothing. Right? So, you could, stick around for your 8. Right? Because the policy is, right, once you come, you pretty much guarantee 8 hours. Right? Even if they ain't got no work for you, just hang out for the rest of your day. But it's early. Man, I got like 3.5, 4 hours, right? Before my 8, I'm like, damn. And I'm like, oh, so, if I wanted to leave, if I wanted to take off, is that cool? Then it's like, yeah, we ain't really got none right now. So if you want to take off, you can do that too. So I'm like, whatever, man. I go find me a little park in the shade, throw on some YouTube, watch me an interview or something, man. I was watching that interview with Stephen A. and Anton Daniels. It was a cool interview, right? So I killed some time watching that. Wipe my windows down, disinfect the inside, steering wheel, all that good. I'm trying to kill time, right? I do all that. About an hour and a half go by. I'm like, God damn, man. I'm like, oh, I ain't got it in me. I ain't got it in me to be sitting around for 3.5, 4 hours, right? So I decided I'm gonna go pick my truck up, drop my keys off, and I'm gonna take off for the day. So I'm like, okay, cool, right? It's a good Saturday. It's rare, right? I get a Saturday off, or I'm even getting off early. So like, cool. So I do my normal thing, right? At the end of my week, I go fill up for gas, and I go do grocery shopping in preparation for my next week. Because I don't want to be last minute or even during the week having to take extra time. Because when you truck driving, you might not have extra time to do this stuff. So at least once a week, when I get off of work, or excuse me, at the end of my week, I get off of work, I go fill up the tank, and I do me some grocery shopping, you know, getting my lunches and all the stuff that I take for lunch, right? So boom, I hit up Costco, right? Because one-stop shop. Pull up, fill up for gas, pull off, park, go in, get my groceries, get my, you know, all my stuff for the week. And I fill up, so I fill up, you know, and I'm peeping, I'm like, damn, man, I'm looking at the tank, I'm like, man, it's almost about $100. I'm like, man, he's like, you know, this shit running up fast, man. Because prior, you know, before all the gas prices got inflated, I probably was paying maybe about 77, right? On a bad day, 80, 82. I remember like when all this gas, all these issues first kicked off, I think I would pay like 82. I was like, okay, you know, maybe about an extra $5. That ain't nothing too big. Now I'm up to $90-something for the same tank that I was just paying $70-something for. Right? So I'm like, whatever, right? I need it anyway. So I don't really too much complain or even trip about what I needed. Really, I was just looking just to see. You know what I mean? Just to compare and contrast then to now. So boom, fill up my gas, go give me a park, go inside, do my shopping. And I take my time when I'm in Costco, right? 2 reasons. You know, because they always rearranging it, so you never know exactly where stuff gonna be. So you gotta pay attention. And then the other reason is I'm trying to see if they gonna bring out the samples. You know what I mean? Like, it's a trip to Costco without the free samples, man. You need that. You get what I'm saying? So, nonetheless, I take my time, but they don't bring out the samples. So I get through there and hit the register. Bam, they ring me up. It's about $1.60. I'm like, okay, who knows? So I don't think it's too bad. I know I be seeing some people, man, they be spending tons and tons, but I go weekly, so I don't do everything all at once to where I got this one big old bill or whatever, right? So it's about $1.60, but they do the item count, you know, they count the items. It's 9 items. So what start off as a good Saturday, I'm walking to my car and I'm like, damn, I just paid about an extra $15, $20 on my tank. And I just paid, I ain't gonna say how much extra, but usually for that amount, I might get about 13 items, right? Depending on what I'm getting. But what I'm getting, like, I didn't get no extra stuff. You know, usually I might buy me a bottle of liquor. I might see a sweatsuit. You know what I mean? Costco got them sweatsuits. You know what I'm saying? So, fire. You never know, right? Like Champion, Nike sweatsuit, Puma sweatsuit, Adidas sweatsuits. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I get my clothes from Costco. Costco. This came from Costco, man. So don't hate on the Costco apparel. You know what I mean? They got it, right? But nonetheless, I don't get nothing extra. I just get my little stuff for the week, you know? Salads, coconut water, you know what I mean? One of them instant meals or something like that, right? $1.60, man. So I'm like, damn, well, initially I wasn't tripping that I got off early, right? So let's go back to that. I got off early, right? Which means I made less money. And I go to the store, gas station or store, I pay more for fuel and I pay more for the food, which is this is just my essentials that get me through the week, through my work week. So I'm like, well, damn, I'm paying more for the stuff that's gonna get me through a work week, in which, at least this one, I just made less. And that good Saturday, you know, it kind of made me feel a little down, because I'm like, damn, it was a good Saturday, but you know, this shit ain't adding up. Making less money, spending more money. And mind you, I'm not complaining, right? At least not yet. I'm not there yet, right? Lord willing, I don't get there to where I'm like really on some bitching and complaining. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm observing. You know what I'm saying? I'm becoming aware. You know what I mean? I see what's going on. I ain't complaining about it yet, but I see what's going on, man. And, you know, it just made me think like, man, there's a lot of people, they already complaining, man. So I know it's tough, right? Because I can see it. I can see, and this was just one day. And I'm like, yeah, less hours at work, meaning making less money and spending way more money, them two don't add up. And I know some people are like, man, why didn't you just stay? Right? Why didn't you just stay at work? Because I could have stayed, got an extra 3 hours and still, you know, made my minimum due or whatever the case may be. But I'm thinking like this, right? Like if it's slow, because mind you, it's been slow, but not cancel run slow. It's been like, you know, you getting the bare minimum. You might get straight hours, right? Slow, as opposed to any type of overtime or anything like that, extra runs, all that good stuff that was going on. Like it was booming. You know what I mean? You get off, y'all got anything else? Yeah, we got some more that need, cool, let me take that. Now, you get off, that's it. Right? You get your 8, you to the gate. Right? So they, you know, but when it's slow, like I said, it's been slow for a little bit. You know, I'm of the mindset of, well, how long can a company do this? And I know a lot of people be out there being like, man, the hell with them companies, man. Get your money, man. They don't care about you. But true, maybe, I don't know, right? I ain't gonna really take that stance. You know what I mean? But I get what y'all saying when y'all say like these companies don't care. Get your money. All right, cool. But I like where I'm at, right? And they like me, so we cool in those regards. And so I'm thinking also, because I also been in management too. So I'm thinking, I remember where it was a thing where you had to cut labor hours, right? You really had to monitor labor hours because things get slow. And so I'm thinking, well, how long can a company do this? Meaning, paying people to sit around and not do nothing, right? The work don't require nobody to be getting paid at this point. We ain't got nothing going on, but they still paying. Shout out to them, right? They still paying. And so I be of that mindset, well, I'm not gonna, it's one thing, the company not making no money because clearly, like, right, if you ain't running no lows like that, you ain't, you know, sales is low, whatever, everything is low, right? So you ain't getting that bread in like that. So I'm thinking like, I'm not gonna be an additional strain. Like, so if I could take off, cool, I'm gonna take off. I ain't about to sit around and get paid for doing nothing. Because it's only so long, right? Even with the best of companies, that they can do stuff like that. And I know of other companies that do that, right? They guarantee at least you 8. I know other companies that do that. But when it's slow, when the times is hard and things is like that, right? And everything is unpredictable. How long can that maintain? I know a lot of people like, look, man, get your money. The hell with these companies. I was like, yeah, you can say that, right? Until they start replacing your ass with AI because they sick of paying y'all to sit around. Ain't no work to be done with AI. Turn that shit off. You know what I mean? Like, turn it off. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You know what I mean? We ain't running nothing. So yeah, so you know, I see how things is going. Man, and something got to shake. You know what I mean? Because, like I say, I'm not panicking. I'm not complaining. Right? I ain't bitching complaining. I ain't panicking. Right? But send help. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers out here struggling, man. And as we know, with everything, nothing get cheaper. Nothing get cheaper, right? And especially you see this as you getting older. And like I'm at that age of my life where I remember when shit was cheaper, to where I'm sounding like the old folks. What? $1 for a loaf of bread? Man, I remember when you could get a loaf of bread for a nickel. I remember you could get a gallon of milk for a quarter. You know what I mean? Shit like that, right? I'm there now. You know what? $7 for a loaf of bread. I remember when you could get a loaf of bread for $1. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting there, man. So, like I said, things is only continue to get more and more expensive. You know, and if it is something to be done about it, I hope the powers that be do something about it. But just looking at life, it ain't about to get no better, man. You know what I mean? Not as far as anything getting cheaper, right? You can do some things to make your life better. But as far as things getting cheaper, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen, right? And I think the main reason why things don't get cheaper, at least one of the big reasons why things don't get cheaper, is that once prices go up in something, and you know, because the companies make their adjustments, right? If they got to pay more for stuff, you gonna pay more for stuff. And once prices go up, and they see, they like, okay, at some point when prices rise, sales drop. Right? Because everybody else, they trying to figure it out too. Like, man, what's going on, man? This stuff too high. I ain't buying it. Right? They going without stuff that they don't need. Right? Because it's too high. They like, oh, I'm gonna wait till it go on sale. I'm gonna wait till the prices drop. But then once the prices don't drop, right? All the consumers, we start to accept these things as being normal. And now we back buying it again. Same stuff at a higher price, because it's been like that for so long to where we didn't normalize it. You know? And that's just where we at. You know what I mean? We heading into new normals. You know? But for the people that's out there, man, and you know, it's tight. You know? I hear a lot of this stuff, you know, and a lot of people like to complain to the government. Hey, man, you know what I mean? Like, you know, look in the mirror, you know what I mean? Complain to that person first, man. Holler at that person, see what they can do for you. The person in the mirror, see what they can do for you first before you start going to complain to the government, because, you know, they might take your phone calls, your emails, your letters, and all that shit, man, but they gonna do what they gonna do, man. Which a lot of times is in the interest of the people who put money in their pocket, man. That's what it's about. That's where we at, man. New normals. You getting used to it or not? Let me know, man. Let me know in the comments. Is you getting used to these new normals? Are you gonna accept this as a new normal, right? Or what's your plan of action, right? You want to complain to the government? You wanna protest the companies to lower prices, or you wanna look at the person in the mirror and say, man, gotta figure this shit out, right? Like, what you gonna do? Let me know in the comments, man. Share, like, subscribe, man. I'm out. Stay safe.